Welcome to Survivor NSFW, and this is the special celebrity Big Brother I fucked up.
I can't remember that.
I was going to say finale. It's the fucking premiere.
Cut.
PBR. Welcome to Survivor NSFW. We are covering Celebrity Big Brother, and this is the premiere night 2. My first time really diving in to the television show Big Brother, and I know Jonny has watched this, and all my other Survivor friends have watched this, and I meet all these Big Brother people. So Jonny's like, Matt, let's do this bonus podcast covering this. And I was a little apprehensive. Last night, Jonny, I wasn't overly excited. I was kind of like texting you like I'm going to kill Jonny for talking me into doing this shit. But I have a little bit of different opinion tonight, which we'll get into. But I am super pumped to have one of my favorite survivors and just human beings.
Oh, stop it! You're gonna make me blush.
In general, and his name is not Jonny Fairplay. Lex Vandenberg from Survivor Africa and All Stars. Dude, what's happening?
Well, Matt Bischoff Moonves, Jonny Fairplay Moonves, I am so stoked to be on your podcast. This is my first time on your video, your special extra value Patreon video podcast.
Oh yeah,
so
go to patreon.com/Survivor NSFW. Join up now. Watch this. This is the good shit. You get to see us. Lex has only gotten younger. It's amazing. He's rocking a shirt that says "Get off my lawn." That's what old people say and wear. And he's got great
hey, Jonny,
hair.
You got your t-shirts. I got my t-shirt. I just ain't shilling them for $20 a piece.
I can make that shirt happen on JonnyFairplay.com. I got a new shirt dropped that dropped as we speak. Hold on, let me show you this one. Goat, not goat. Is that a good one? I never know. I throw shit against the wall, and you never know it's going to stick.
Oh, right on.
Jonny making memes into t-shirts.
Yeah, there we go.
And the funny thing is, if you are watching this on video, and you look at, well, first of all, I was a big fan of watching Lex on Survivor back in the day, right? I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's super cool. And then I got to meet you a few years ago. I don't know, maybe it's been like 4 years ago now at the Reality for Diabetes event. And we immediately hit it off. And even in my stupid bullshit Survivor pre-interview things where they ask you all these questions like, what Survivor would you play like or this or that? I said Lex, man. Like, I'm a big fan. So the funny thing is Lex and I have a shitload of things in common. My beard's a little bit bigger. His dick's a little bit bigger probably. But anyways... I'm looking right now at our video, and I have acoustic guitars behind me, and there's acoustic guitars behind Lex.
Same shoulder.
It looks to be possibly a stereo, maybe a turntable behind your shoulder over on the table.
Right there, yeah. Yeah, right and then you got my drums are down there.
Yeah. So
to Matt's left is his stereo and turntable.
It's pretty crazy, man, because...
But it is weird how much we had in common, because when you played Survivor Caramoan, you had two sons that were, I think, exactly the same age or close to the same age as my two sons when I played Survivor. Yep. And we both have smoking hot wives.
I know. Yeah, there's a lot of...
There's like some kind of crazy...
Do you guys need me to leave? And you guys want to tap dicks and get this over with, or what? I mean, I can...
No, but it's cool. It's super cool. And so... Obviously, we're all fans of Survivor. This time...
you have one more thing else in common.
What's that?
You're both in my Jonny Fairplay's top 10 nicest survivors list.
We made the cut.
Yeah.
Dude,
everyone thinks Big Tom is, and he's not. I mean, I love Big Tom.
Back in the day, Jonny, there weren't that many people that immediately took you under their wing and were public, at least not Survivor players, that were public about being your friend.
Not much has changed, Lex.
And I said my reputation. Fuck my reputation. This guy's my man right here. It's my brother.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I always tell people I never met the old Jonny Fairplay. I've only known.
You're lucky.
No, that was like, if you're old like me, it was like taking an e-ticket ride at Disneyland. It never failed to excite and scare the shit out of you.
Yeah.
True.
But all jokes aside, though, guys, I want to thank you guys for making an exception and lifting the beard requirement on me.
I know.
Like, this usually that's a mandatory thing, right? You got to sport a wicked man beard to be on the show, but
Man,
thank you guys.
Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. And as we all know, we all are big fans of the TV show Survivor. But I learned, and that's why you're on this show right now tonight to talk about Celebrity Big Brother. You are a big Big Brother fan. Is that correct?
I am, and I almost hate I'm a huge Big Brother fan, but I'm kind of closeted.
Yeah, well, I honestly,
when I'm on one of your guys' podcasts, like I've done the ones for Evil Dick and a couple of other ones, but I'm a huge fan of the show, and I don't know why, because it kind of represents everything that I'm not in my life. And believe it or not, they could pay me $2 million. I would never play Big Brother. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't be locked up. I couldn't be locked up. I would have such cabin fever and claustrophobia to be locked up in a house for like 3 months. I would kill everybody in that house before I could finish the time in there.
Would you say, as a viewer, you're a bigger fan of Big Brother than Survivor?
Possibly. I think
you are.
I'd have to say that it probably, in a kind of a dirty way, in a way that I feel like I got to go shower after I watch it. Yeah. It entertains me, and I think I enjoy watching it more than Survivor. Although I'd have to caveat that by saying, the old school Survivor back in the old days, I mean, that was really kind of my jam. I've gotten pretty fatigued on all the new school stuff, and so old school Survivor beats Big Brother. Big Brother beats new school Survivor for me.
What about David versus Goliath, though? Wasn't that a breath of fresh air, or you're still
meh?
Okay.
Hey, you know,
to each his own.
That's right.
I mean, there's something for everybody in all these shows, and for some people, there's more or less of something in there. Yeah, I mean, but Survivor's doing really well, and I think David Goliath did pretty well in the ratings, didn't it?
Well, even more so than just the ratings numbers is just the aura. I mean, like, you're I would imagine a fan of Vice magazine and the Vice channel. Vice magazine called Survivor David versus Goliath the best television show of 2018.
Wow. Those are big words.
That brings a coolness that I think Survivor hasn't had since, season 7.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it makes it current, way more current than it's been for a while, probably.
Yeah. So I think that's really cool. So I mean, I think, looking at David versus Goliath, you see some of those characters that are reminiscent of characters of old. It wasn't Mactor, and I think that was the difference. The relatability of the character to the viewer, I think, separated it from some of these past seasons.
Yeah.
So last night was my
You're cherry popping.
You busted your cherry.
Yeah.
Yes, and like I said, I've seen stuff on social media. I've seen bits and pieces via online, but I wasn't overly impressed. And I might have had I'm always open-minded, but I might have had a little bit of just like, oh god, like negative attitude or something.
A little chip on you. I mean, because you're like, I was on the good show, and this is Big Brother's the B show compared to Survivor.
Yeah, time out, Johnny. So, Matt, everything that you watch this season in Celebrity Big Brother, take it with a bit of a grain of salt, because you are, in my opinion, you're not watching true Big Brother. every time I watch, well, I guess now this is only the second season, but to me, Celebrity Big Brother is kind of akin to minor league baseball when it comes to gameplay and strategy. These are like people that they've been used to kind of having their, their cushy lifestyles, their time in the limelight. They don't go in, most of them don't go in, I think, to play really truly hardball, because a lot of them care about their reputation after they get out of the house. Whereas the Big Brother player for a regular game, and this is different than, I think, even some Survivor players, they are literally, you almost always all in it to win it at any cost, which is kind of what makes it super icky. But it's also what makes it really kind of fascinating to watch, that these people can be so casual about just suspending any sort of care about their reputation and just doing whatever, the slimiest things, or, exploiting anything to get further. And I challenge you just to watch, and I know that Johnny's going to make you watch it, but I challenge you to watch a regular season of Big Brother, and it may capture your attention more than this one does, because this is really kind of, this is like, when you go to a bar and it's a shitty bar and you order a stiff drink and it's been watered down. This is a bit like somebody's been slipping water in your whiskey, and it ain't full strength, dude.
So, thanks for the sales pitch, because I think that based off what you're saying, it is something that I would be interested in, because I am a fan of the cutthroat kind of behaviors in the game of Survivor. And after watching tonight and seeing how strategy and alliances and gameplay started to
Don't
actually
say
unfold.
the word alliance, Matt. I do not say the word alliance.
I hate that word.
I will walk out of this podcast if you say the word alliance.
That's hilarious. So you're saying how cutthroat it is. So in other words, like looking at the first time Jonny Fairplay played Survivor, or looking at Russell Hantz, the big villains, the big, just, kind of asshole players of Survivor. So what you kind of said is that Big Brother is like that times 10.
I put Evil Dick, or not Evil. I put Mike Boogie and Dr. Will right there beside me on
and I would put Evil Dick right there as well. That's
Evil Dick, yeah. Evil Dick. He burned a girl with cigarettes because he didn't like her.
Like I said, they are unapologetic.
He poured tea over her head. Like, he just grabbed a pitcher of tea. He's just like, I don't like you, and just poured tea on her.
They unapologetically just throw everything out the window and just it's like a dog fight, when it's good.
It's good.
But there are a lot of actually really smart strategic players that have played Big Brother. And I know, Johnny, listening to your podcast yesterday, you mentioned something that I want to set the record straight. Okay. But you mentioned something along the lines, you said BB players are Survivor rejects, but it's not the other way around. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true.
Uh-oh.
So this is just a little bit of trivia.
Okay.
Because, Big Brother may not have the it may not be the ratings monster that Survivor is, but
it's summer programming and winter break programming, so you're not going to have
players. There are some formidable Big Brother players and people that wanted to be on Big Brother that actually got cast on Survivor. In fact, 2 Survivor Africa players were originally Big Brother applicants, and they didn't even want to play Survivor. They wanted to play Big Brother, and CBS said, nope, you're not going to Big Brother, you're going to Africa.
And who were they?
Do you have any guesses?
Lex Vandenberg.
Oh, hell
See, you're laughing because you're like, hell no, I'm fucking Survivor through and through. Those motherfuckers are as good as me.
You have any guesses?
Please tell me it's not Ethan.
It's not Ethan.
Okay, all right.
Right, that would have pissed me off a little bit because Big Brother applicant wins the game. Nope.
That's horrible. I would imagine on Gen X versus Millennials that Adam applied for Big Brother because he does his confessionals like he's yelling in the diary room.
I've heard there have been many Big Brother applicants who actually got pulled by CBS and put on Survivor.
I was making fun yesterday, by the way.
I made the statement that what Lex is saying. I made the statement. Jonny shut me down and corrected it. So for the listeners out there, just remember, I am smarter than Jonny Fairplay.
No, I was making a joke. I knew that they pulled some Big Brothers to.
Okay, so
I just want Big Brothers to
so
hit me up.
Silas.
Correct, Silas.
Okay, Silas. Hold on. And
are you looking this up on your phone?
No. Look, I am refreshing my memory of who was on Survivor Africa.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so I would say, no, it's going to be a female. Silas and Kelly Goldsmith.
I say Kelly.
Silas and Clarence.
Oh, Clarence! Wow.
Well, 1 at 50%. See, I'm a Big Brother fucking expert right now. I'm in casting. So if CBS is listening, if you offer Lex,
Matt Bischoff Moonves is an official Big Brother scholar.
I am, and we all know that Lex will not ever play Big Brother for $2 million. But if you give him $2,500,000, he might consider it.
I might jump in the pool for that. That little pool, baby pool.
Speaking of the fourth Moonves tonight, Julie Chen Moonves. Was that a hot dress or what? I mean, I got him. I mean, I thought, I saw. I liked it.
You know what? If you put an alpaca llama or
my friend
in a lace dress, Jonny Fairplay's on board.
I'm on. My friend Corinne just got an alpaca.
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard that's probably why I had alpaca on the mind.
Yeah.
Dude,
so congrats to our podcast brethren S
and my Caramoan compadre.
And congratulations on your new baby, Corinne.
Yeah, Corinne doesn't listen unless she actually I heard her. I think she was on Rob C's podcast. But she listens. She doesn't listen to any podcast but her own. And if it's her and a guest, she'll fast forward through the guest just to hear herself.
That sounds like Jonny Fairplay.
No, I listen to all. I mean, I don't. I try not to list all the podcasts. I listen to Up and Vanished and Serial. I don't want people to go elsewhere because we have fucking 8 hours of fucking podcasts this week for the people. So I'm not trying to solicit others, but yeah, no, I don't. I'm not big on listening to myself. Because I remember if I was good, I walk away and go, all right, home run, way to go, Jonny Fairplay.
The only thing that I did was after dinner, Tessa never listens to anything that I do because she just doesn't give a shit. She's like, "You guys are."
That's like Kelly. That's like my wife.
Tessa's like, already texting me like, "Matt, I can hear your loud ass voice through the fucking walls of the house." Right?
Oh my god, she is just like Kelly.
Yeah, you get the same text.
Yeah. But I did want to. I said, Tessa, there's this fucking virgin on this shit, and I said something about I wonder if she masturbates with a cucumber because I wonder that. So I played that clip for her. She was laughing. She thought it was funny. But that's when I listened back to find that. So we're going in right now to Celebrity Big Brother, the premiere episode, part 2. Yeah. And we find out that John is not stoked to compete against a 12-time medalist for this challenge that they have to do, which I don't blame him. I mean, hell,
no.
I mean, it's
and he got hosed by CBS because they made it a 100% physical competition. There wasn't a puzzle or
the puzzle at the tail end of it to kind of even the odds.
It was they basically cherry picked the perfect competition, except it wasn't in water, I suppose.
Yeah,
but it was for Ryan.
Yeah.
So. And they did say expect the unexpected. You're signing up for this game that anything can happen. But yeah, I agree with you because John seems like a big fan, like he's really stoked to be there. And then
Ryan doesn't know. Ryan doesn't know shit.
Ryan doesn't know shit. Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I don't think Ryan knows shit about a lot of things.
Right, I agree.
He seems like a fun guy.
Except that he knew he was going to win that challenge. You could tell when he was pretending to panic about the challenge. I mean, this is one of those Big Brother situations where it was expect the expected.
Yeah,
Right.
Ryan's going to fucking win.
Yeah.
But I think the big takeaway from that moment going into the challenge was, Jonathan's like, let's think about a potential alliance, just no matter what happens, no matter who wins, let's just kind of think about the next step. And Jonathan did the predictable. I don't know if you've ever seen a gay man on a reality TV competition show, but they quickly joined the all-female alliance within seconds.
I think that they give off a sort of a pheromone that women tend to be attracted to in terms of like, you're my friend, you're my new friend. I mean, women can, because I mean, I've just seen it. They sniff them out.
Yes. But I thought it was funny because we have Ryan Lochte who doesn't really know what's going on. So he's like, okay, well, who do you think, Jonathan? And Jonathan goes, let me think. Lola would be okay. Eva Marie would. And, he's just naming. He essentially names every girl in the house until he's out of girls. Except he's not going to mention his secret alliance with Dina Lohan.
Which isn't secret anymore.
Well, kind of, but not really. But then he's just like, and I guess I should pick a hot guy to look at, Joey Lawrence. But it was just, and Ryan's just like, yeah, they're all athletic, and I'm just like, no, that's not what he's picking. He's not picking athletic. He's picking all girls. He's going to fuck you, and not the good kind of fuck.
Well, I don't think it'd be the good kind if you were on Ryan's side of the.
I don't know.
But, so here's my statement. So basically now we're talking, because now I start seeing what this game is about. I get it. And Lex, when you're talking about like watching a normal Big Brother with just average everyday people playing, I could understand how much more intense it would even be. But Alliance's gameplay strategy, this basically, from me looking at it, is this is Survivor within the confines of a house. But it's like constant strategy. And it was funny because everyone's going from room to room, and you see, someone's trying to whisper strategy, but they're being filmed, and then someone just walks in the room. Like Tom Green walks in, like completely, like majorly awkward, and then the Cato guy walks in, and I started getting excited about it.
Some people are much better at pretending to have a fake conversation than others. I mean, like we learned.
Tom Green didn't even pretend.
Yeah. So, but Tamar, they're having a conversation, and someone walks in, and she's like, and then I told that bitch, and she's like, oh, sorry, it's you. Okay, here's what we were really saying. And I'm just like, that's great, versus Ryan and Jonathan is like, let's play the silent game. Yes, we were talking, but you're not a part. You're going home, so we're not talking.
Yeah, what's kind of delicious about Big Brother is that it is, as much as Survivor is as well, Big Brother is even more so that reality TV pressure cooker. It is just because you're confined, and because of the way that these people play. And they've been playing that way pretty much since the beginning. This like all full tilt, balls to the wall, all in game from day one, which is interesting from a person who's played the game before. Like for you, Matt, as well, it'll be interesting to you. And this is why I think Jonny finds it interesting. You see them doing things that you're like already saying, okay, well, that's certainly going to backfire and blow up in your face. But you guys are they're playing what I think is like the ultimate short game. It's like each of their kind of game is like a day or 2 days. They're not really, a lot of them aren't playing like long-term marathon style games. They just want to survive the next eviction. and then they're going to do damage control. And you can see that. And this is, I think that it's just a theory, but I could be all wet, but old school Survivor was played quite differently. And now you see people on Survivor playing the way they play on Big Brother. They're
a more fluid game.
They're making multiple alliances. Their alliances are completely fluid and vaporous because they'll make an alliance to the death one day, and then the next day all bets are off. You know, like when back, you know, in the old fucking days of Survivor Africa, which is like 18 years ago, when we made alliance and you actually said, hey, I swear on my kids' names or, you know, whatnot, it was like, no, that never got, that was a handshake agreement. You didn't break that no matter what, which it may be seen nowadays as foolish, but it's so interesting for me to watch these cats play this game where on day 1 or day 2, they've already made, each of them have made 2 or 3 sets of alliances, which
and final 4, final 2 deals that they're already saying in their first fucking diary room, not competitive diary room, that I'm gonna fuck them.
Right.
I'm already lying.
Here's the thing that's kind of delicious is these alliances are all, or most of them are going to get them through the next eviction, but the day after that eviction, shit is guaranteed to get super awkward. And at least a half a dozen of them are going to be caught with their dicks in their hands. Yep. And they're not going to, what do I do? Because they made promises and now they have to break them, or they're being caught by other people that say, hey, he or she told me that. And this is like the thing that happens in this pressure cooker every episode. It's like a condensed, just super concentrated version of like Survivor gameplay, which is a little bit more of a long game, right? Or it feels, even though it's not a longer game, people play it a little bit more that way. Whereas in Big Brother, they're like, okay, I'm gonna jump into this fiery pit and hopefully I get out of it, and then I'm gonna try to heal myself, and then so I can jump right back into it again. It's like the burner is turned all the way up to 11 most of the time.
Yeah, and it's fascinating because it is a long game. What is it? The normal Big Brother, is it literally 3 months?
3 months.
I'm the same way, dude. If someone, if CBS called me right now and said, Matt, we want you on Big Brother to be away from my wife and kids for 3 fucking months, dude.
Yeah, no way.
That is, I don't
It's a
see
kid's
how,
game. It's a kid's game or a very old person game, and that very old person doesn't do well.
Now, are there people, I know we're talking about Celebrity Big Brother, but on real Big Brother normal cast, are there people that are family guys, husbands and wives that have,
but they're few and far between, and there aren't that many. I mean, you could maybe out of a cast.
They want the showmans because, like you know, in addition to. In addition to the TV show, there's also the After Dark and there's the live feeds. You know, there's an entire community invested in seeing these people hook up. You know, seeing them
covers.
Yeah.
Getting a hand job or whatnot.
And I get it because as a society, like I'm a 44-year-old dude, Lex, you're older than I am. Jonny, we're about the same age. I don't have, with a wife and kids and Jonny and I's podcast and my music and everything else that I do, I don't have endless time. But the younger generation, dude,
for the energy,
voyeurism of just spying and like looking and surfing the internet and wanting constant up-to-date shit and the live feed, I get the appeal of it. I really do. And seeing tonight the alliance is forming, and you guys were joking around earlier about the freaking Joey dude. They approach him. He's like, I don't like the word alliance. What kind of shit? Do you not realize, dude? Can you imagine someone being on Survivor, for example?
Season 1.
And like, let's be an alliance. I don't, you know. But at this day and age, that's the name of the game is alliance.
Well, yeah, but that just shows you that Joey's manager called him one day and said, hey, do you want to be on this show Big Brother? And Joey's like, what is that? He's all, don't worry about it. It's a show that's going to be broadcast 3 days a week, and they have so many million viewers. He's like, okay, sign me up. And then he shows up. And he's like, I hate the word alliance. Well,
no, that like I was disgusted I mean, honest. I mean, like
He blasphemed. That was like absolute blasphemy. Or it's just like holding a giant "I am stupid" sign.
Yeah, it's a slap. I mean, because there's so many. Like I would like I have no desire to do Big Brother. I would do Celebrity Big Brother, and so it was a slap in the face to quote unquote celebrities that would love to go out there and show their acumen and evilness and everything else. And it's just like this dude's like, I don't like if he shows up and is like, so do we I'm gonna base my vote on alphabetical order. I mean, is that the game he's playing? Is he playing Survivor Borneo?
But the thing is, he's already shown his cards, and they know that he's a stooge, and they know that he's actually an easy pick if they need one to put up on the block, right?
Whenever they need him.
And he's going to be the guy that probably presents at some point a threat and challenges, and they'll be like, nope, no problem. I hate alliances too. Alliances with you. Yeah. So there you go.
And that's what I got from everyone else. They're like, people go to the Jonathan guy, and they're like, dude, he doesn't like alliances. Like, well, fine, he's not in the alliance.
I like there wasn't let's try to fix him, or it's just like, yeah, that's good.
That means I have at least one extra week in this game.
Yeah,
because that guy's going before I'm going. Right. So I got a question for you guys. How long? Because I don't know this. How long is Celebrity Big Brother?
I think it's 2.5 weeks.
That's it?
No.
I think it's less.
I think it's a month.
I don't think it's that long.
Dude, Jonny probably told me, hey, Matt, we'll do some bonus podcasts.
I think it's 20 days. We can look it up. I think it's like 20 days. Okay, so it's less than 3 weeks.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. Because last year they coincided it with the Olympics. It was counter programming to the Olympics. That's
right. I remember
we got this in the first place. And I think Olympic coverage is 20 days.
Huh.
I might be wrong. I mean, I'm sure we can Google. There's people listening to this podcast. No.
So I've got a burning question about tonight's episode. Was Ricky smoking reefer in a closet the entire episode? Because I literally, the first time I saw him was at the very end when they were nominations. And he looked lit up as a Christmas tree, and I don't remember seeing him once the entire rest of the episode.
I don't know if you caught this.
Is Ricky the football player?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He was banned. I was, he had no airtime.
No, no.
He passed out in the closet from smoking too much weed.
He probably did.
I don't know if you noticed this, but Ricky was wearing like a dark gray. I think his strategy is to pose as a shadow, and and he makes it to the end.
Well, so I don't think he's going to be a polarizing dude on this
he is playing. He has officially already played the game less than Meta World Peace.
Well, that must be a diss because I never watched that. But so basically, like he's really freaking bad.
All right, it says roughly 30 days. Okay, I apologize. So 30.
Okay. So basically, I've committed to 30 days of my life of Tessa being pissed that I'm talking that my voice is not only do I have to talk about Survivor 3 fucking days a week, but now I got to do Big Brother.
It's the off season.
You better be ready to deliver a ton of nice foot massages, some real serious spooning with a happy ending.
All right, I'm down.
And you may have to cook dinner a few times every week, dude.
All right, you hear that? I will do that for you,
Tessa,
Matt.
I said
so. Well.
Don't be a pussy and not let her hear that, because I want you to rub her feet, spoon with a happy ending, and to cook dinner.
Well,
and not just on your Blackstone griddle, jackass. I'm talking make some soups and some casseroles and really.
Yes, I honestly, dude. Speaking of that, you had some beautiful food you made in your.
I know. I want that soup recipe.
Yeah, I've actually, guys, I never ever was a cook, and so I got this Blackstone griddle thing, which I actually bought. And it's and I have a new job which enables me to get home at like 5 p.m. So I'm able to cook, and I actually really fucking enjoy it. And
it's my zen time. It's when all the stress of my day, on the weekends, I'll just sit there and I'll cook. I'll cook like 5-hour Sunday gravies. Yesterday I made like a 4-hour brisket and Guinness pie.
Dude, that's awesome.
I love, I feel it. Matt, you'd understand this. I feel the same sort of stuff go to my brain, that creativity when I play music. It's the same. The endorphins feel similar to like the creative endorphins I get when I play music as well. It's just, you could be creative with food as well,
It's fun.
And Jonny, I know it gets you off as well, Jonny.
Yeah, I started Blue Apron last week.
Okay, that don't count for shit.
What?
No. Oh, no.
Listen, hold on.
You just fixed it up. It's got a little card. No.
Yes. No, I live in Danville, Virginia. My grocery store is...
I call it Blue Waffle.
Okay. Well, listen, I live in Danville, Virginia. My grocery store is Piggly Wiggly. Okay, everything you've been to Big Tom, Food City in Saltville is comparable to Piggly Wiggly. Okay,
yeah.
Look at Big Tom's table, and everything is brown. There's no colors. Okay, because we don't have that shit here.
Everything is a varying shade of beige.
Yeah, we don't have those options here. So at least with Blue Apron, they're sending me colors that they don't sell at my grocery store.
Well, fair enough.
Okay.
How the hell did we get off on this tangent?
Oh, I don't know, but we're going to go back into the Big Brother house where basically we see...
You of all people keeping us honest with Big Brother.
So Ryan...
Right. He's like, look, we got to talk about
That's right. Ryan goes... They go outside... They go outside and there's one of those freaking treadmill endless pool kind of deals, right?
Infinity pool. I know that because usually they have a hot tub in the backyard.
So he is pumped, and what was actually fascinating, which I can relate to this. So he's an Olympic swimmer. So how many times, throw the celebrity aspect out, and they're just all basic human beings, right? And they're seeing this. One of the best
well
swimmers.
for you, Matt. These are basic human. You only recognize two of them for being celebrities.
That's right.
D-list celebrities.
That's right. So he's swimming, and they're just mesmerized. And
I was too.
I know, and that was really fucking cool because when I'm a BMX bike rider, and I've been to many occasions where I've been lucky enough to be in the presence of some of the greatest bike riders in the world at these private sessions, and I'm sitting on the ramp watching these X Games gold medalists do the most beautiful and insane tricks on the planet, and you're just like, wow, this is fucking absolutely amazing. That is what those people were experiencing watching that dude swim. Although swimming's not nearly as fucking cool as skateboarding or BMX or snowboarding, but I get it. It was pretty cool.
To see someone who is the absolute best at their craft, I don't care what, like it could be whittling. If you're watching someone whittle and he's the best fucking whittler, you're like, that's fucking cool as shit, man.
Oh yeah.
It is super cool as shit, although for my money, I would have been way more excited to watch them throw the mooch in that pool and turn it to fucking 11, turn it all the way up, and just watch him like tumble like a rock tumbler or something.
I don't think mooch is long for this game.
No, and we see Tom Green and the mooch
I love
about Donald Trump and working for him.
Tom's my horse in this race. I love Tom Green. I have ever since the early days when he first hit TV.
Sure.
And I'm furious that he's already up on the block, because this could very well, if the mooch pulls some of his slimy shit and makes a deal, who knows? I mean, who knows though? You know,
that's true.
And if we lose Tom Green in week 1, I may just stop watching.
Well, the good news is
the only guy I really like.
That's the guy last night, dude. That was the guy who, to me, made the whole fucking first part of the premiere.
I didn't really know anyone else.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, at the closing credits of the show, we hear Tamar going, "Why did he put up Tom?" our plan, because we're using Ryan as a fucking puppet, was to backdoor Tom on the first eviction. So maybe it was a blessing in disguise that Tom went up.
Well, I can tell you this.
I just hope he wins the veto competition.
Yeah. So do you understand how the veto works, Matt?
No, but I can tell you this before we go into that. When Tom, you could see on his face when he got chosen to be one of these nominee guys that he was pretty bummed. You could see it in his face that he was shocked. Oh. Yes, it's Tom Green. I'm a celebrity or this or that, but to go out first, I don't give a shit if you're playing this game as a celebrity Big Brother. Even if you were like, dude, I'm only doing this for a little bit. I want to get the fuck out of this. You don't want to be the first one fucking out of this.
No, and plus I think Tom genuinely wants to play. I don't think it's just because he's embarrassed about being the first one out. I think he really genuinely wants to play the game.
Right.
And I just, frankly, I don't understand how Cato didn't end up there. And I think, Jonny, you're kind of a fan of Cato.
Cato can't. He can't be, him and Eva Marie can't be nominated.
Oh, that's right. Because he's like the guy that, the roommate or the guy at the party that won't stop talking, and everything he says, he thinks he's really funny, and he's super not funny and not entertaining at all. Like, I want to smother him with a pillow.
Yeah. He's very all right. So I couldn't remember if you were pro Sugar Ray or anti Sugar Ray.
Oh, you mean Mark McGrath?
Yes.
Oh no, I thought he was a cool dude, and I enjoyed him on the show, and I know that he was beloved on the show. And actually, I've got friends of mine that are very close friends of his. So I guess he's kind of like, I've met him a couple times. We're not friends, but I've got very close friends that are friends of his, and that's good enough for me. So
yeah, I think you were the one that was pro Sugar Ray, and I'm anti. so I see Cato as.
But he went all the way, and you know why? Because people really loved him, and I could see Tom Green slipping right into that role of somebody that everyone likes.
I'm not catching that. Like I think we
would. You think Cato's going to be that guy? He might be.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who's going to be. If we play Celebrity Big Brother with Tom Green, we're taking him to. I mean, like, I don't want to get rid of Tom Green. He's there to entertain me, and I don't think that these people understand Tom Green's humor.
Oh my God! I think he's drop dead hilarious.
I know. I don't think they're getting it.
He's absolutely hilarious. If he goes home, I am going to be fucking bummed because he's the most entertaining person thus far in the show.
By a lot.
His standout line tonight when he says, watching Jonathan swing and knock down blocks makes me think of Mean Girls. Because all Jonathan ever talks about is Mean Girls.
Yeah. That was fucking great.
Priceless.
He gets nominated. He goes, obviously, they see that I'm a physical threat.
It's priceless, man.
No, and he was great even last night, when they're sitting there, and obviously Tamara's uncomfortable about the whole O.J. Simpson discussion, and she's just loading her mouth with grapes, and Tom's the only one in the room that catches it because he is playing. He's so observant. He's like, "How's the grapes?"
I couldn't figure out last night when she was just pile driving those grapes, and I couldn't figure out if she was just stress eating or was trying to somehow compel herself or force enough food in her mouth that she couldn't possibly utter a word, an intelligible word.
That was the plan.
Because she was about to just lay in.
Yeah, because as I said, the whole and I don't even think it's if OJ did, I think it's what the OJ Simpson trial represented too. Yeah, so
it's a very sensitive issue for many people on both sides of the fence, and it's the thing that will immediately you can pull that thing out in a mixed crowd, and it will be the polarizing factor.
Yeah. So, but I do like how we had Omarosa there last season because the political climate is something that is a factor in. And even peripherally to people that don't even watch the news like me, that is something that is affecting the nation as we know it, and that's why Omarosa was an excellent cast decision for last season, and the mooch for this season, and we went right and seeing Tom Green talk politics, just like so how, and we go through all of it, and you know, it's like, well, I'm Canadian.
I don't care.
But that's you guys' problem. But I love, so we have these multiple. We have the For Sure Alliance happening, and then we have the Girl Alliance that never works. So I haven't seen. You know, I went on a run of Big Brother seasons and then stopped. But so I guess they're making reference because they mentioned it last time on Celebrity Big Brother. An all-girl alliance has never worked in Big Brother.
It's never worked on Big Brother. It's worked on Survivor.
It has on Survivor.
It has never worked on Big Brother. And it's funny that you can predictably watch every season. At some point, there will be at least one or two attempts to make it happen. Yeah. And it always implodes. And it's like, it is so predictable.
But I did love the, you know, it's just like, let's do the first ever girls alliance that works. And I believe it's tomorrow. She's like, it's not, even Destiny's Child didn't work. There's no way. It's not going to happen. So, but I did love it. And for, you know, we do have a crossover demo, you know, with the fact that Survival of the Fairest, the predecessor of Survivor NSFW, it was myself and Conrad Thompson, and then later Matt Kuhn. There is a wrestling audience that probably, you know, 4 people at this point, but that has still stayed with us, and for them and for you guys that might not know, when they're throwing out alliance names. One of the girls throws out, you know, let's be the 4 horsemen. And Eva Marie quickly says, no, we can't. And the reason for that is threefold. Number one, in the 80s in Jim Crockett promotion, one of the greatest wrestling factions of all time was the 4 horsemen. Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Ole Anderson, and that 4th member would all, you know, was someone different, you know, sometimes Lex Luger, Sid Vicious, Chris Benoit, whatever. But one of the greatest, you know, other than the NWO, I think the greatest heel faction ever is the 4 horsemen. Well, since then, Ronda Rousey and 3 of her best friends in MMA, they call themselves the 4 horsewomen, or even the 4 horsemen, you know, shorthand version, but they're the four horsewomen. Their counterparts in NXT, which is the minor leagues of WWE, was the 4 horsewomen, which was Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair's daughter, Becky Lynch, who is on pace to possibly be the next John Cena. She's amazing. She has a T-shirt that she calls herself the Man. She's like, I'm the Man, and she has a shirt that says the Man. I bought it because I love Becky. She's that good. And then Sasha Banks and Bailey are so. I saw it, like the panic on Eva Marie's face, because she was in WWE. She's kind of an outcast. She got kicked out of the WB for drug issues, which, you know, she claims are not true, but whatever. But I saw it, just the analyzation in her head. It's like, no, because
that's so interesting, because I just immediately assumed it's because there had already been a Big Brother alliance called the 4 Horsemen.
I possibly Eva Marie was the one that said no, and I think because the wrestling audience already hates her because she wasn't good. She got the gig because of her looks, and there's so many, and I'm just like, screw you. Like I sat there tonight and I did on many episodes of Total Divas, and I did on many episodes of WB. I'm just like, she is one of the most beautiful women in the history of women. She's a knockout for sure. She's beautiful. I mean, like her as a person, like, I don't think she's the best person on the planet, but I think, I mean, like, you know, like if she, like, I'm just like, wow, if I'm making a girl, that's a lot of the parts that I'm using. You know? So but anyway, they finished with the 4 tops, and that's going to be, you know, the alliance that'll be together for, you know, about 3 days, but. So we have these alliances being formed, but my favorite alliance is we have the mooch going, what exactly is an alliance? And we have Kato give the definition, and we have Tom Green, who's just an innocent bystander who is sitting in between these 2 people, and the mooch goes, all right, that's it, we're an alliance.
Did they name it?
I think they called it the K Train.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, even a horrible name.
And so this is where Nick Wilson, from the winner of Survivor David vs. Goliath, got all his alliance names, right? The idea for it from Big Brother.
Totally, and I'll tell you right now, something it bothered me to no end. I'll tell you right now that at that point it was like that was one world that I was not okay with it overlapping with our Survivor world. On Survivor, he broke the cardinal rule that you never fucking name your alliance on Survivor. That's a Big Brother thing.
You didn't name any. You didn't.
No, you can't. No, you can't do that. That's
me and Bert.
That's douchebaggery right
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Bert named ours the Legion of Doom, but it never made the air. And we
Johnny, you man.
Yeah.
So basically, Lex just called you a douchebag.
Oh yeah, I agree. No. Afterwards, me and Burton were like, "Oh, thank God that they didn't show us call ourselves the Legion of Doom."
It's not necessarily if you're on Big Brother, it's not necessarily douchebaggery. There, it is a big
douchebaggery if you're a Survivor player.
Yeah, but on Big Brother, it's a Big Brother tradition.
But it has to be
we all have
name.
our traditions, but it has to be a good name.
Yeah,
and unfortunately,
if it's a bad name, it's douchey.
Yeah. Unfortunately, 75% of those names are horseshit.
Oh yeah, like the Nerd Herd.
Oh my God, there's so many bad ones.
Yeah.
But if it's a good one, then it's gold. But that's a Big Brother thing. It's not a Survivor thing. And I'm just curious about that.
On Celebrity Big Brother last time. Like they're just like, let's be an alliance, and like they're throwing out names, and they're just like, worst alliance name ever, and it was so great, just the epic failure of throwing out names. So, but that's a fun part of. But I thought Nick, the lovability of Nick, he got a pass with me on David vs. Goliath.
Oh well, I love Nick. Yeah. I love Nick, and he was definitely my number one pick to win the whole thing. Part of which because we got to know him in Cincinnati. I got to know him in Cincinnati before his season even aired, and I just thought he was a solid dude, and he wasn't walking around like puffing his chest like, hey, I'll show you guys in a few months. You're going to watch me. He was super mellow and
he's
humble.
He's still like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Like he's
the dude's a humble dude.
Yeah.
He's a humble.
So we go to this challenge, the first challenge of part 2. This is the power pair going at it. You got Ryan, the complete athlete gold medalist, versus John, and John kind of has no chance, in my opinion, going into this.
Anyone's opinion.
Yeah, so you have
in
this.
God's opinion, because I think Ryan knew it was so locked down that he was just like, well, let me not look like an asshole here, but he could have easily been an asshole. I think it was just over before it started.
Yeah, so you start off on it's like a zip line type thing. You're holding on to a bar, and you have to knock down this movie marquee looking screen thing made out of blocks. And Ryan was killing it. Jonathan was horrible. Then he actually
did you catch at the beginning? So Ryan goes, my palm. I guess I have sweaty palms, and Jonathan goes, oh, sweaty palms. That's my drag name.
Yes, I caught that. I did.
Do you think that's a shoot?
I don't know.
I think that might be. You might have to do a little bit of Googling and some homework, because I'll bet that might actually be the truth.
Yeah.
That will be a rabbit hole that I will.
Johnny's gonna find out. And
no. There's only so many erections a guy can have in one night.
Oh, that's hilarious. So we see this challenge, and it's obviously being complete domination, but they got to make it look a little bit dramatic because John kind of starts catching up, and Ryan only has 2 blocks left, but it actually this challenge looks exhausting.
It does.
And
well, yeah, and I mean, you could see that that Ryan was just spent at the end of it, and he actually mentioned it, and I don't think that a multi-gold medal Olympic athlete would just throw himself under the bus like that if it wasn't true.
Right.
And I found that pretty impressive. But I mean, we all know that there are certainly Survivor challenges we've all done that would lay out just about anybody, athlete or not. And this happened to be something that must have been pretty exhausting.
And I liked watching this challenge a lot better than last night's swinging challenge.
Well, the fact that it took them 5 minutes to figure out how to swing was was a little anticlimactic there.
I actually would like to I'm like, man, I would like to do these challenges actually.
Well, I would like to see you compete on a 5-piece puzzle. I really so after the podcast, Lex, I showed.
Oh God, yeah.
The 5-piece puzzle challenge.
Yeah,
and he's just like, this isn't real. And I'm just
it's not a challenge. First of all, to call it a challenge is, I mean, it's criminal.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Especially the fact that she laid it down, solved it, and then didn't even know how to put it standing up.
Right.
Yeah, I was just I just was looking at my phone like, is this fucking for real? It's unbelievable.
There's no way. This can't be right.
No. Yeah. And they kept looking back to the people observing, all the other cast members like watching this. They had to have been like, what in the utter fuck is going on?
And then she goes, I mean, she's immediately eliminated. I mean, like, she goes just straight out the fucking door.
Straight out the door, man.
Yep.
Crazy.
5-piece puzzle.
So, after this challenge, John is up for he's nominated for eviction, basically, at this point.
He's on the block. And yet another twist, because what have you learned so far, Matt?
Well, I learned that there's a lot of twists in this game of Big Brother.
Well, no, but what phrase have you learned that they make you hate within seconds?
The block, eviction, head of household.
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah, expect the. I know.
I know. I just refuse to say it.
In plain parlance in English, it means anytime production wants to fuck with you, we will fuck with you, depending, so that we can make this into the season. We want to make it and have certain people go longer. It's just their way of saying we're the puppet masters. Yep. We pull all your strings and you dance, motherfuckers. You dance.
And they'll vote you out and bring you back and put you back in the fucking house if that's what they want.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't put it past them. So
no, they do.
Well,
how many times have they brought back people that have been voted out, Lex?
Oh my God, so many. It's one of those things that you when you vote someone out, when you evict somebody, there is no guarantee that they're out, that they're staying out. In fact,
it's kind of like freaking Pearl Island.
It's really going to mess your game, and you're a controversial character or player. Chances are they're coming back.
Yeah, wow. Good or bad. You could be an ultimate good guy that gets sent home, and they'll be like, "Hey, we need this motherfucking good guy back." Or you can be a bad guy. It's just like, "Oh, we finally got rid of this fucking bad guy," and they'll bring that fucking bad guy back.
Wow. Unbelievable. Well, you sign up for this shit. You sign the contract.
Yeah.
So whatever. So this Ryan dude, he's having the dilemma of what two other people is he going to choose as a nominee,
that was a fun twist, though, throwing 2 more people on the block. Is that the first time they've ever done that, Lex?
I believe so. At least this way.
Yeah. Did you like that?
I honestly didn't mind it.
Yeah.
And he had 30 minutes to decide. He had 30 minutes to decide the 2 people he was going to put on the block with Jonathan.
That's pretty standard fare.
And I liked that for him. He didn't get, as the guy that won head of household, he didn't get ripped off, or he didn't get ripped off from his duty of getting to pick 2 people, and it could be really awkward. So it forced him to pick 2 people, which if he'd only had to pick one person, it probably would have been way easier for him. Yeah. But I like that they put him against the wall and said, no, you pick 2 people. And I think that for him, the challenge wasn't so much picking 2 people because he likes people. It's because he didn't really know what he was doing.
He didn't. And he even said to I'm just going to wing it. I'm just going to figure it out that night, which is that's the kind of shit that would piss me off in playing not only Survivor, but any game like this. It's like, dude, come on, man. Like, we're here to play this game and you're just going to fucking wing it. And I know that the one thing that I noticed is that Jonathan guy was like, playing a strategic game and wanting to keep that Dinah, whatever the fuck. Dina. I keep saying Dina,
or as Ryan says, Diana. Yes.
Yeah, so he's trying to keep it. So, Tom Green and Anthony get put on the block along with John. So explain this to me, guys, since I'm new everybody at Big Brother. So it looks like there's going to be the eviction ceremony deal eventually, which is kind of like a tribal council. Yes. And there's 3 people right now, Tom Green, John, and Anthony, that are up for eviction. But they're going to do some sort of challenge tomorrow night that one of those people will be immune from being evicted. So then there's going to be 2, correct?
So that's the power of veto challenge. And think of it in, the analogy here for you would be hidden immunity idol.
Yep.
Basically, if they have this challenge, the people that are up on the block, along with the head of household, and I think 1 player pick from each of them. Each of them has to pick 1 player out of a hat, basically, or a bag. Those people all compete for this power of veto, and whoever wins that has the option. If you're on the block, you have the option of taking yourself off. You also, anybody who wins it has the option of taking anyone of their choice who's on the block, including if you're on the block but you've got your best friend that's on the block and you want to pull them off but leave yourself on, you can do that as well. So it's the power to basically take somebody off, and that means the head of household then has to pick, again, make an awkward pick with a smaller group to choose from to replace the person that got yanked, right? Yeah. So there's politics there, and you don't want to piss off head of household. You know?
But strategy wise, sometimes like say they really wanted Tom Green out. So if you really wanted Tom Green out, you wouldn't put him up now. Because you don't want to give him the opportunity to win power of veto for himself.
Correct.
So if you really wanted him out, you would have nominated Dina instead, and then you have the power of veto competition. Say whoever wins is in cahoots with the head of household. They pull Dina, and then before the eviction ceremony, they throw up Tom Green in her place, and then Tom Green has no chance to save himself.
And that's called a backdoor. Yeah. So when you hear people, because they're going to talk about it, they're going to say, well, do you think we should backdoor so-and-so, or maybe let's just backdoor them? That means they won't actually put them on the block, but they'll keep their fingers crossed that they themselves or someone in their alliance is going to win power of veto. They yank someone off, someone who they would nominate as a pawn, and then they pull that person off and immediately swap them with the actual intended target. It's a risky move, but it's worked many, many times on Big Brother. They use it. They use that strategy constantly.
Pawns are commonplace on Big Brother, and no one, for the most part, has a huge problem with it. They know that is an essential part and that's an element of the game. Versus Survivor, whenever anyone's just like, hey, we're going to tell them that's who we're voting for, but we're really it's essentially the role of the pawn. No one likes that role on. It's just like, no, pick someone else to tell them that's who you're voting for. It's like, but we're really not voting for you. I don't care.
but players on Big Brother also know that, and they say this constantly. The people that have been picked as pawns, they say, I don't like this because pawns go home. Oftentimes, pawns go home. So. That's a really delicate place to, if you agree to be somebody's pawn and go up on the block, man, that's you're putting yourself, directly in the line of fire.
But it's much more commonplace as a strategy on Big Brother and an accepted strategy versus Survivor, where it's like, no, motherfucker.
Right. And on Big Brother, they also use it as a kind of a double, a double blind strategy, in that they'll tell somebody, hey, you're just going to be the pawn, when in reality, no, they are the actual intended target. And so that there have been times where they said, hey, dude, you're safe. I love you. You're just going to be a pawn. And by the way, just throw the veto competition. And then they end up evicting them. So,
they'll just let me win the veto and then I'll pull you. So you're not the bad guy. And then they don't pull them. It's so great.
So would you say, guys, that Big Brother is on a higher level of strategic gameplay
No, it's
than
no.
Survivor, or
it's
do you
different.
It's just different. Just a
I think
different
it's
game.
different, and there are elements of Survivor that Big Brother people will never understand, which is like, what happens when you have to play the strategic game for $1 million, but you're starving, you're losing weight, you're sitting out in the rain, you're freezing cold, you don't have any creature comforts. These are things that make the games different. But
there's a dependency factor on Survivor that Big Brother would never understand. Like you need the provider, the food provider. You need the guy to head your tribe for tribal challenges.
It's apples to oranges.
Yeah,
and I would argue that for me, that 100 and something microphones and 90 cameras 24/7 with creepers at home watching all night on their laptops like this while I sleep, that to me would be a factor that would make the game harder for me. Like, that would be in my head. So yeah, that's where, Big Brother's harder because you're locked in a house, you can't go outside, you got claustrophobia. It's harder because you've got cameras on you 24/7 and they can take a picture of you, or they can watch video of you under the covers sleeping or in the shower behind that kind of frosted glass, whatever. That's harder. Survivor's got other things that are harder. They both, I think they're both incredibly difficult. Big Brother's 3 months, Survivor's 39 days.
Yeah, that's gnarly. Now, out of the 3 people that are up right now, you got Tom, Green, Jonathan, and Anthony. Who do you guys think any one of those guys is going to be the first one to go out of the house?
Oh God, I want Mooch gone right now. I anybody but Tom Green.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm right there.
That's the way so we're going to find out. Jonny, explain. Tonight was part 2 of the premiere.
Yes.
Wednesday is the challenge, and
is the Power of Veto competition, and then Friday is the eviction episode.
Right on. Well, stay tuned.
So we'll be back possibly Friday, right? We have all right. So we have Angelina. I don't know. You tell me
no,
when
we're gonna find. I mean, the reality of it is, on a Friday night, put it this way: the weekend.
Matt's got a life.
The weekend comes, dude, and I like hanging out with my wife and my kids.
Sure.
The last thing I'm going to want to do is sit here and talk about Big Brother on Friday night. But we will see.
Well, no. How about when does it come back on? After probably Sunday.
No, we'll see. No, I have committed to a degree to bringing you guys, obviously, the Celebrity Big Brother stuff along with all the other Survivor shit. So we will see. But for the listeners that might have been a little bit, fucking, I listened to Survivor NSFW. Matt, he's not a fan. He's like fucking talking shit on it. I actually enjoyed this episode a lot more than the torturous episode 1.
Yes.
And I think it'll get better. And like Lex said earlier at the start of the podcast, if this was a normal Big Brother season, I could see the appeal. So,
yeah, and I'll tell you, episode 1 is always a turd. Always.
Yeah, not non-celebrity or celebrity. Like I tried to watch this past season, and I heard from all accounts it was one of the best seasons in years. That first episode's so tough. I'm just like I'm tapping.
But I'll tell you, I'll make a prediction right now, Matt. You are gonna get sucked in, and part of it is because this is an entertainment drug that gets dispensed 4 times a week, and so it's hard. It's like. It has the mainline effect. You know what I'm saying? You're getting that drug 4 times a week, not just once, right. And it gets you hooked.
Yeah.
So I predict that if you watch this, and that's terrible. It's terrible to make drug references. I'm sorry.
It's 2009. I like to pretend to myself that 2019 we don't have to apologize for everything.
No.
Okay.
Right.
Fair enough.
No.
But I think you're gonna get hooked on this, and I think that even more so when you see an actual regular season next summer.
Right on. Well, dude, Lex, thank you. It's a pleasure as always, and hopefully you will join us again for another talk because it'll make it a lot more tolerable than me and Man Bun over here talking about this shit. So.
Well, you guys, my brothers, it was my pleasure. Thanks for having me, and I'll definitely be back. I'd love to do another 1 or 2 of these with you guys.
Please, please.
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Lex. And you can find Lex on Instagram at Waiting for Zombies.
Perfect.
And
that's right.
That's the best place.
And we will see you guys next time on Survivor NSFW. Cheers.